Hi, I'm Emmett Beach. I'm a writer with a few books up on Amazon. I have a blog, and I'm an avid YouTube watcher. You might call me a YouTube addict. I'm not proud of that, but it's true. So I thought I would take some of my blog posts and just read them with, I'll throw up some pictures, obviously, to make this an actual video, and put this on my own YouTube channel. I also have audiobook versions of some of my works on this channel. So, do the thing where you like and you subscribe and maybe make a comment if you really liked it. Okay, if you didn't like it, you can make a comment too. That's your right. So here we go. I'm about to read a little essay I wrote about Superman, and it is titled Superman, the Complexity of Goodness. Striving to use this time in quarantine productively, I've taken to rereading John Byrnes' 1980s run on Superman. Not only is it considered one of the classic eras in the Big Blue Boy Scouts history, it's a reboot of the franchise after Crisis on Infinite Earths. So we get a whole reimagining of Krypton, Mon Pa Kent, Lois Lane, the Daily Planet, Lex Luthor, etc., etc. Seemed like a good place to start. Let me make an admission right now. While I've been a comic book fan for years, I was never big on the Man of Steel. Maybe he was too perfect, too handsome, and too powerful for a scrawny, bespectacled geek like me. When Clark took off his glasses, he had supervision. When I take mine off, I'm so nearsighted I walk into a door. I was much more of a Marvel kid, and I loved heroes like Spider-Man and the Hulk. I didn't realize it then, but it was the flaws that made those characters really great. Spider-Man could stop Doc Ock over and over, but he never got a date. Well, until MJ showed up, and perpetually failed to show up at Aunt May's tea party. As for Bruce Banner, sheesh, that guy couldn't keep a job, and he had to keep buying purple pants. So, I have to admire Byrne for taking on a tough job. Superman is too perfect and too powerful is an easy take. He's always calm, cool, and in control. I mean, why wouldn't he be? Nothing hurts him, so he can take any number of muggers, bank robbers, and street thugs without a scratch. Sure, you can give the bad guy a brick of kryptonite, but then either kryptonite is available at your local hardware store, or there's not much at stake when Soups is around. Of course, you can use villains with enough power to get the hero to at least break a sweat. Lex Luthor has a lot of superpowered robots. Bizarro is pretty much the same level, and the Parasite is a walking box of kryptonite. But even then, Superman gets kicked around a bit. Not that he's ever really injured. Even his hair has some super gel keeping it in place. But eventually, his steam gets up, and with an almighty wallop, sends the villain reeling. But even those stories make some interesting points. Superman often encounters some alien robot and wonders if it can hurt him, because he doesn't know. The first few issues got Clark to Metropolis and the Daily Planet, but he doesn't know about Krypton yet. He doesn't know what he is and what can hurt him or not. Granted, the kryptonite gets introduced early and he discovers what that can do. So Clark definitely feels a void in his self-knowledge, but he knows the Kents are a loving family that care about him. He doesn't wallow in this, but acknowledges it as a part of his identity. When he discovers who his biological parents are, he's pretty good about integrating that into a coherent, positive self-image. The best non-supervillain story involves Perry White, veteran reporter and editor of the Daily Planet. In this continuity, Perry has a teenage son. When Perry writes a series of editorials denouncing a crooked politician, the son is kidnapped by thugs working for the Pole. Clark's superhearing allows him to overhear the kidnappers tell Perry to retract his accusations or never see his son alive. But Clark doesn't know where the son is being held. So the story is a combination of Clark's reporting skills and Superman's powers. At one point, Superman walks into a dive bar demanding information. Yes, Superman, in blue long johns and red undies, red boots and red cape. This is one of the complex parts of the Superman character. Superman basically trashes the place demanding information. At this point in the run, I would have thought Metropolis's criminal community would know about the Man of Steel. Like, he's basically made of steel. I guess they needed to at least show some resistance, so a couple of guys break their hands punching Supes in the gut. Of course, everyone in the bar is a crook. They aren't supposed to have the reader's sympathy. Certainly, punching Superman makes them guilty of assault and stupidity. But isn't Superman the most lawful good of the lawfulest and goodest? Is walking into a business and breaking stuff the legal way to investigate a crime? Something to expect from, what's the word? A fascist? A terrorist? When he finally gets the name of the kidnapper, Superman grabs the thug and deposits him on the giant globe on the roof of the Daily Planet. It's time for Superman to demand the whereabouts of the kidnapped boy, if the guy wants off the roof. At first, the kidnapper taunts Superman, since the hero is too good to actually harm anyone. But the kidnapper has a fear of heights and pathetically pleads for Superman to get him off the roof. Superman makes some flip remarks about coming back in a few hours. This definitely disturbs my hazy image of Superman, ultimate symbol of truth, justice, and the American way. The one thing you had to say about Superman is he has a moral code. He's only going to take things so far. Batman? We know Bats has been a little morally hazy. It's more surprising when the Dark Knight doesn't try to intimidate someone. Here is the complexity of goodness. If Superman isn't going to actually hurt someone, and everyone knows it, he's rendered as powerless as if he used a kryptonite suppository. Sure, when the bank robbers are walking out with the loot, he's within his rights to heat vision the guns and tie up the robbers. But if he needs someone to cooperate, he can't do it with threats. The kidnapper was right in the beginning. He could have just kept his mouth shut until Superman put him down. No one would be more aware of this than Superman. Yes, he's kind of a big, good-natured guy, but he's no dummy. The comics also repeatedly make the point that Clark is a real idealistic journalist. That's not just a cover when he's not Superman. Given the crime rate in Metropolis, Clark has probably seen the dark side of human nature more than once. Unless you look at the big guy and wonder if he'll do something a little more. Maybe he's not so good. Maybe he's not always in control. Maybe his biggest weakness isn't kryptonite, it's himself. The only way Superman can be the greatest force for good is to have a dark streak somewhere inside.